everyone, it's Rotana and Arnold, the co-founder of the New ABC, and we are here also with participants who joined us a few minutes ago, Christine, who very much interested in SEO, but also in the topic of ethics, and that's really good because our question today is, which difficulty have you experienced in ethics? So each week we are picking up a life skills, and we're going deeper on that during 5 or 10 minutes, something like this. But first, what are your point of view on this question, Christine and Arnold?
I will defer to Arnold.
Well, we added ethics as a point of, as a really crucial life skill to our life skill table, because we want and we think that ethical behavior is really very important, and really becoming fast becoming the main differentiator. So in everything you do, not only who you are, but also your behavior, your products, you should be, well, is what we think be ethical. But it's becoming fast a serious topic in society as well. I wanted to share quickly. Yesterday, I attended a presentation at the university here in Budapest, and it was about the refugee crisis. And there was a professor from Harvard presenting. So again, a very, well, high-level guy. And he did his presentation, and after the presentation, there was time for a Q&A. And there was another, well, I don't know whether he was a professor or lecturer or whatever, but clearly he taught at the School of Public Policy here in Budapest. And he was immediately attacking the guy like, well, what you're saying as facts are totally not facts. You're wrong. Those are not the right facts and whatever. So immediately it changed the atmosphere, and it became, well, almost a shouting contest. And so imagine, and I think I had the feeling that the US ambassador was there, so all high-level people in the room, crowded auditorium, and it becomes like, what you tell me is not right, and that's not working, and whatever. So that was quite an experience. and that guy has a very loud voice. He looked like an opera singer, so everybody could hear him, and he was sitting behind me. so I was like, what is this? But it shows that immediately, through his own behavior, but also the way he approached, he put things into doubt, and he was questioning whether that guy was just kind of giving a presentation for his own purpose rather than sharing things which are relevant to all the public. So he was like, well, so it immediately created an atmosphere of doubt, an atmosphere of, well, I say yes, you say no, so of controversy. And it left me like, well, no, I don't know anymore, because I thought it was a very worthwhile presentation and I learned a lot, but I'm like, but what I learned, was that correct, or was it only his personal opinion? So that is what makes it really difficult now, and is like, who should I believe? Who should I trust? Who should I listen to? Was some of the stuff presented to me maybe not correct?
How did that make you feel? Like, did you feel like that was a good thing or a bad thing? Well,
the good thing about it is that the guy, or that they did speak up in front of everybody else. So it was not a discussion previously those discussions would have been in the back room, or nobody would have noticed. But now it was just out in the public. So for me, that was like, wow, this is positive that they start challenging a professor telling something, and just publicly they're challenging that, hey, guy, what you're telling is not correct. So I find that very positive that it's out in the open, the discussion. I felt negative because I'm like, I thought I learned something, but maybe I was manipulated. I don't know. So that was the other feeling, which was also there, Christine.
That's interesting. Yeah, like I think ultimately we have to make that choice based on something that's within, right? Yeah. And hopefully we've learned some amount of ethics and standards that we can feel confident in the decisions that we make.
Yeah, again, what are your values, or what are your perspective on justice, respect, honors, all these topics that are foundation for society or any civilization? But it's also something that's really important as we are going digital these days, and also for any organization or individuals. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting. It's absolutely part of the values discussion. Yeah, it's like, if you challenge these things, how do you do it? And is there still respect for the other person? Or is there no respect or whatever? But clearly the presenter, the professor, he was clearly, well, he was clearly, he tried to solve it with a bit of humor, like, well, you put me there as a right-wing supporter of the president here, and I'm not like that. And so people started laughing, but clearly he felt attacked, which there was no other way of doing that. So I think, well, what we all need to learn, it's like I said, it's good to express that you have a different opinion, but it's not good to do it in such a way that you attack another person, because maybe you're both wrong. You don't know. So
yeah.
I think in that case, respect is really important, rather than just immediately saying, "Hey, guy, the facts you're presenting are wrong." You know, then you put someone as a liar. So in front of everybody else, which is no small thing. So, and again, there were I had the feeling, very high level of people of the university. I have the feeling that an ambassador was there. So yeah, if you get attacked like that in front of the other people, it's quite painful. Yeah? So
yeah.
So it's a matter of, again, of finding balance between being open and honest, and at the same time still showing respect for someone else. Yes. So, you know, the Americans, I always agree to disagree, rather than just attack. Well, you have another opinion and I don't like you. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. So I'm checking the chat, as you can both see too. We have a question here.
Yeah, well, I see that's exactly what the damned. I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but that is exactly what I thought. Yeah. Can you challenge a person bad ideas while treating the person respectfully? Yeah, yeah. And I think that is possible. I think that is possible because we always, and the way to do that is to make a distinction between the content, what someone is presenting, and the person.
Yeah.
If you say, I can disagree with the content of what you're saying, but I'm not judging you as a person. In that way, you can be very respectful towards the person and still say, hey, you say the content is like this, but I disagree with that. Yeah. So that is something which I think is the right way to approach these things. But immediately we tend to combine the content and the person as one, whereas they are not one. It's just sometimes the person is only a messenger or only.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that if I disagree with you on certain content, that I disagree with you as a person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's important to draw that distinction because what we have learned does not make us the person necessarily. It just means that's what we've learned. And it doesn't stop our growth. And I personally feel that it's wrong to put a cap on what someone is capable of thinking or growing into, because you never know where one person is on their path doesn't necessarily mean that that's where they're going to end up.
Mm-hmm. So we have also, thank you for sharing your point of view, Christine. We have also another question. Let me check. Yeah,
What is the importance of ethics? Well,
yeah.
Maybe Christine, maybe you would like to have a go because it's your main area. So.
Well, I'm just coming into this. But ethics, I think it's important to have something where you have, I think of it as like a backbone of a system, so that you have something to guide your decisions as an organization. Not every organization is going to have the same set of ethics, but it is important to lay out the boundaries, so to speak, and so people understand how they should operate and consequences if they do not operate that way.
So according to you, it's very much related to culture then?
Yes. Culture of the organizations, right?
Okay. And what will be in 3 words, your culture in your organization?
What would be?
Your culture in 3 words, if you can just share it or describe it in 3 short words.
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, we are trying to also define that with my partner for the new ABC, but that's what we are noticing too when we are meeting people like you or any organization. That's a big one. No need to answer if you don't have any idea. We haven't thought about that in the past. Otherwise, we can just continue with other topics because, again, in our show, we are not discussing only about one life skill like ethics, but we are discussing about what we have done this week. So maybe, Arnold, we can just continue the show with that. Yeah.
I'll have it in back burner and be thinking about it.
Okay. Please feel free to share that with us on Twitter. We connect with you on Twitter. I saw that you are there too. And feel free to stay here or just to leave if you have other things to do, because we will just share what we have done this week with my colleague in the next minutes. So this week, Arnold, we met some people, face-to-face also on the web. We were discussing how we can explore some possible partnerships around education. So who we met first this week, I think it was also Tulapanda Institute based in Kenya, Nairobi, right?
Yeah, correct.
Could you share more about what we have discussed with the co-founder of this institute this week?
Well, it's basically around the they are offering in Eastern Africa, and they're from Kenya, and what they're offering is to the folks that are in the slums. Well, obviously, what they need is work, and that's one of the main goals what we're trying to achieve to help with that in the new ABC as well. But they are focused on helping people with coding skills, helping people with design skills, helping people with negotiation skills, business skills. So really, really hands-on practical experiences to help people deal with that. So we thought that what we are offering with the focus on life skills could be really complementary to what they are offering.
Yeah.
So that is why we were in touch with them, and obviously, we were happy to conclude that they shared the same opinion. And that they also said that they could see that our life skills and their more, let's say, practical business skills are really complementary. So now we're looking into ways where we can do some projects together across Africa. And we are currently having our Moroccan community where we will discuss in 20 minutes or so with them how we're going to see that or whatever and expand that. So it's really very exciting.
Absolutely. At the same time, we can just mention also quickly that we are discussing with university in Mexico, because we have a friend who is there, also a teacher, helping young students to develop life skills for finding or creating their own meaningful job. So that's also in parallel project that we have started but we're still exploring what are the possibilities here in this other part of the world. So we also, well, Arnold, you met also some people here in Budapest. So could you share more what is exciting these days with this recent discussions?
And a lot of follow-up to do. It's a bit crazy busy because it's really things are really accelerating, I would say. So let me pick out some key things. I went to a fintech meeting. For the guys who don't know, that's a combination between financial industry and technology. They call it fintech. What's quite obvious what I learned, there was a guy, he was the founder, one of the founders of a startup in financial software, and they were bought by a bigger company, so he was now part of that bigger company. But what he showed again, and that relates to our topic of ethics, culture, everything, that the culture of that big company and all the other things were totally not matching. So most of them, if not all of the folks who were initially working in that Hungarian startup, they already left the new company. And he was the last one, and he clearly expressed, although he was part of the board of that new company, that he totally didn't like it. So and I think that people are still underestimating the importance of culture, and like I said, ethics is an important part of culture, and everything is like how you treat each other, how you deal with each other, how is your behavior as human beings among each other. So I think, well, obviously it was an investment of millions of dollars, and then after a few years, just your investment has vaporized because you don't understand what the cultural things are. That is something which I find really, I think people underestimate the importance of culture.
Yeah, that's what we are checking a lot these days too. Because if there is no fit between you and us, or your organization and us, we cannot collaborate, co-create, or learn. Like right now, we are doing that with Christine. That's our intent. Of course, we are sharing what we are doing these days, but it's also about learning together.
Yeah. Okay, a very exciting meeting at yesterday with a friend of ours, David, and he's a film director. And I had a discussion with him I wanted to understand how we can reach, as our target group is approximately 400 million young people. So I was discussing with him, like, how can we reach them? If we currently look at our database and 400 million, the gap is huge. So we're looking for ways to, how can we reach them, in what way, and whatever. So one of the exciting things what we came up with is maybe we should organize a global event or maybe with concerts, like what they did with the H concert series many years ago, or things, or maybe we or the 24 Hour of Happy, like Pharrell Williams, or he talked about Russell Brand. So I thought, well, that would be pretty cool if we can create such a global event around it. So that's extremely exciting, and he will, and obviously we also have to do that, but he will start thinking about it because he's an extremely creative guy. So and he works with the big names from Hollywood. So I'm really looking forward to that. So we will start thinking about it and get back to me.
Right.
And just this morning, I had a conversation with a professor who's very much into youth work.
Okay.
And for instance, here in Hungary, but we discussed that in France, the problem is similar. He said 33% of the youth in the regional areas want to move abroad, and 33% want to move to a bigger city. That means only 33% want to stay. So that is a huge problem. So that is what they are addressing, and he has this weekend and next weekend meetings with youth clubs around the country, and well, clearly he's willing to introduce us and see whether we can create partnerships in a way to address those folks. And I also mentioned our Pest Magyar project, which has the same goal actually. So he could totally relate to that. And yeah, so yeah, I think we were making good progress in
I think too, yeah.
Finding ways to create the ripple effect and to reach more and more people with what we're trying to do, and everybody understands the value of it. I was trying to share with you a research which somehow didn't work, but it shows again and again. It's those life skills which are really missing, and that is what the folks need. So I think we're pretty hot at the moment, so that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. And last but not least, we will have a meetup if you're in Budapest on next Monday in the evening on the on some goals that might interest also Christine. Maybe you can share more about that, because you will be the host with Tamas of this event, Arnold, where people will do a life skill game. And part of that, we are picking up some goals from this SDGs goal.
Yeah, well, it goes too far to explain in detail the game, but what we want to do is to use the Sustainable Development Goals, which were agreed in September by all the countries. We want to mix, actually, not look at knowledge or how to address these goals, but we want to look at skills. What life skills are necessary in order to address those goals, and which skills are really needed, rather than saying, because my feeling is that all the knowledge in the world is there to solve these problems. For instance, there is enough food in the world to get everybody something to eat every day, but still it's not happening. So it's not that there's not enough food. There is enough food. It is just a matter of people somehow are not willing to share, or people are not willing to collaborate, or people are just not communicating in the right way. So that is why we will start with the game, and we know there are these sustainable development goals, and we will start with one, just like, what is it? Decent work and economic growth.
That's it, yeah.
Just pick one and see. We ask our people who will be in our meetup, like, which skills do you think are really crucial in order to address that goal? So also here, we're trying constantly, what we're constantly trying to do is flip the approach from knowledge towards skills, life skills, because that's the way we believe it is really crucial, rather than just focus on knowledge. No, the knowledge is there. It's about how you apply the knowledge and how you behave and who you are, and that is what we're trying to promote.
Any thought on that, Christine, or any other topic that you would like to discuss? You share a link in the chat.
Yeah, I put in a couple of different links.
Thank you.
Those are like some glossaries to terms from the Ethics and Compliance Initiative.
Okay.
And it's really helped me in my study of ethics. So if anyone here is interested.
Thank you very much. We will dig that soon. Yeah, that it's a big list, so we'll check out this carefully. Thank you very much.
So you asked me the question about the three different ones. Do you have a top three? Okay.
Yes, we have a top three for our culture, but if you would like to just share yours first, we can hear you. Otherwise, we can just jump in.
Yeah, I've never thought about trying to pick just three. So I'd love it if you would just jump in.
Okay, great. So, it's also on our website, but we can say more here. We are the new ABC. It's the new activity based on co-creation, and our culture and practices are really based on three words: fast, co-creation, and journalist. Journalist because me and Arnold, and even our CTO Tamas are becoming our journalists, meaning that we are widening our perspectives interests and practices, not just being an expert or a specialist on one or two topics, for instance, because again, we are interested in many area in any industries, and also we have many skill set in our portfolio. Simple as that. Co-creation, that's what we love to do, co-creating products and services, but also learning together in real time or just in different location or different projects. And FAST, you saw how we connect today. You asked me, are you keen to have us on this show? I say, yeah, well, with pleasure. Just join us before we're recording this show, and we're glad to get to know you and be with you on board for this question on ethics. That's what, and these days, through Twitter to Blab or any other tools like Hangout, it's easy to connect and then just to see if there is a fit or not on ethics, for instance, you know?
Yeah.
And to learn together, simple as that, fast. So that's
Definitely.
our 3 words.
Like co-editing, that's like a big topic for me that I'm actually writing on right now. We create our future together. So how responsive we are, how communicative, that's definitely of utmost concern, I would say, in any organization that I would be in, whether it's an organization of 2 or more.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about cooperating and co-creating together for having better impact in our world. Simple as that.
And transparency is huge.
Yeah, well, we discussed that in 2 weeks ago, something like this in our latest show. So you can check out that via our website, as you already did, and you sign up for our newsletter. So thank you very much. And thank you also for being part of that episode this week. It was the 19th one, and we'll be back next week, same time and same day. So Friday, 10:30 a.m. CT. And have a great weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.